Hey guys, Sam here and welcome back to our channel. So today I'm going to be running and gunning solo because I'm trying to solve a problem with the RV toilet in our RV. I've got to fix it and I'm going to be using my 3D printer to make a custom, truly one-of-a-kind piece that fixes it for us and bring you guys along for the whole process. So if you're interested in this, to see a little bit of RV content, but more so see how I use 3D printers to solve real-life problems, stick around. Oh yes, the porcelain pony, the thinking throne, the chair of duty, whatever you want to call it. This is the focus of today's video. Now, quick disclaimer, this one's brand new. This one's not had cheeks on it. It's clean. So, oh man, how am I going to tell this story? So here's the backstory of the toilet in the shop. When we went on our first camping trip last year, that went great, but we found out at that point while we were on the road that the valve, the flush valve on that toilet in our RV leaked. Not a lot, not like a sprayer back there, but enough to tell us, well, we have issues. While we were on vacation, I went ahead and tried to look up that toilet model number, try and find any parts, and it was an old one, couldn't really find them. So what we decided to do is on our way back home, we decided to stop by a Camping World store and picked up this guy. It's a brand new lippert toilet, so it is elongated, it's nice, it is a taller version, and one that, well, grown-ups can fit on. Angela and I went to install this the other day and come to find out its flange mounting, where it actually attaches and the business port happens, is a little bit different with this toilet than in what was originally on the RV. So it's a little bit short, meaning that there's a little bit of a gap between this toilet at the base and our floor. So we got a couple options with this. We could try and take the flange out of the floor, find a different one, go down that route. But Sam, being Sam and how he is, loving to tackle a project, and also owning the 3D print business where you can bring thoughts into reality, said, whoa, 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 Angela, give me the toilet, I'm taking it to the shop, I'll make you something nice and custom. The first thing I need to do is to trace the outline of the base of this toilet to find out what size and shape of a solution do I need to come up with. I've got a little whiteboard in here that I'm going to sit the toilet on top of. I'm going to trace the perimeter with a dry erase marker. Then I'll take the toilet off. I'll take my phone, take a picture of this, because then I'll take that picture into my computer, convert it into a SVG or scalable vector graphic, basically a picture that we can work and make sizes from. And then from there, I'll do some design work. I don't want to make this a design thing and just bore you to death or really glaze you guys over like a box of donuts. So if you're looking for design stuff, search for that elsewhere. It's not going to be in this video. I'm going to keep this high level. I'm going to show you a solution, but then also I will tell you guys about the cool factor and how 3D printers really are starting to seriously become appliances you could have in your home for solutions. Like this, yes, but also for other stuff. So I want to go ahead and flip this guy over because even though I've got my tracing on the whiteboard, I want to make sure that my dimensions are correct, and taking my measurements off the actual base itself instead of a drawing is going to be my most accurate thing. Plus what I can do is from above, I can line this up with the bolt holes on this toilet and make sure I am getting a true left to right parallel measurement. So we're going to say this is 232 millimeters wide inside diameter, because the design I have, which I'm going to sketch and show you real quick, is not really going to care about this outside. It only cares about the inside diameter. So 232 millimeters wide, and front to back, we'll say 252. So I have my overall shape, which is going to convert into my computer to give me the oval. I have my actual dimensions taken from my friend here in the shop. And then I did a quick little dirty sketch to show you guys what my idea is. So I'm going to go through the design process, taking all of these measurements, the photo I took of the shape and everything, putting it in the computer and coming up with my file to then 3D print. I'm not going to bring you along for this whole in-depth process. I'm probably at this point already speeding through, showing you some quick clips of it, because this is not the point of the video. I'm not here to teach you guys to design stuff, because that would be super boring and doesn't really apply. I don't know how many people out there are looking for a custom toilet washer. I mean, maybe there are a lot, but yeah, you know, keeping it short and sweet so we can get on to the end, or at least the meat and taters of showing this, and then something more interesting than computer work. All right, guys, so I do have the screen recording turned on, and I wanted to show you at least this portion because this is going to apply to you in the event I sweet talk you into thinking you need a 3D printer. So here's the program. It's called Bamboo Studio because all of our printers are Bamboo Lab printers. There's a portion of the software, it's called Online Models, and it is basically called Maker World. It is owned by Bamboo Lab, and it's a place for you to go and download free things to print and use yourself. Not like print and sell, but to print and use. Everything on here is free for personal use. And there are some really, really awesome designs. Just out of curiosity, let's see if anyone has designed a toilet shim. So I type toilet shim up at the top, and what do you know? There's actually some right here, and I've seen something similar to this at the hardware store, so that's cool. However, I'm not seeing anything for RV toilets, so that's good. I would be a little bit crushed if that was the case. But as you can see, there's also some pretty cool things, right? So here is a 3D printable pooping stool. If that's your style, need one, want one, print one. Very cool. There's a lot of stuff in here. Obviously, this one's pretty cool. It is a sheep toilet paper holder, so kind of cool decoration thing. But yeah, a lot of stuff in here. So that is the cool factor of Bamboo Lab printers with their software and their website called Maker World. Maker World files can be used with other printers, so it's not only for their models, but they do make it seamless on their end. All right, so hopping in and creating a new project, let's go ahead to our downloaded toilet shim, drag and drop. We see our preview here, awesome. And I want to change the color and the filament. We're gonna make this white. So let's go ahead and synchronize to our printer. Perfect. So this is going to print it in white, and it's going to be printed in a PETG plastic, which is much more durable and strong because, well, we want this guy strong. So looks good, and you can also kind of see the idea I came up with, right? It's basically a washer. It's going to raise the toilet up 3 millimeters, which is the thickness we need so that it matches with the flange, but then have the little reference or registering lip on the inside to keep it from scooting around as, well, we drive down the road with use and stuff like that. So this looks great. I'm going to go ahead and click on Slice, which is where the computer takes a physical model and turns it into layers. And then here, if we zoom in, you see these lines? These are actually what's going to be 3D printed. So a 3D printer is very similar to a computer-controlled hot glue gun, just putting down little beads of plastic in specific locations and stacking them on top of each other. At this point, I'm going to tell it to print the plate. We'll go over to the printer, let you guys see a little bit of it getting started. Again, not going to super deep dive into it. And then when it's done, we'll test our fit. Okay, going over to this guy. Let me make sure the boys haven't left any residue on here from other print jobs or any toys. They love 3D printing stuff here. So we're good. So we'll go to print file. There is our toilet flange. Tap on next. And then tell it to print. This is going to take right at an hour to do. So obviously I'm going to fast forward this for you guys, but I will at least show you a little bit of it getting started. All right, so what you guys are seeing right here, this is the actual print head. So this model has 2 different nozzles, so you can print in 2 different materials at the same time, but we're going to use one for this one. And basically that is where the plastic is extruded from, and you could think of that as the hot glue gun end. It's going through its process of getting ready, loading up the plastic. It also will automatically probe the build plate or the bed to find out exactly where it is and keep everything perfect and level, and that is really cool. So again, high level overview, just simplifying it and letting you guys see it. Up here, if you look close, you can see that spool rolling up there in that cabinet. That is our roll of plastic. It is being fed into the machine, and now it is heating up as it prepares to load the plastic filament in the nozzle and get ready to print. All right, guys, so the printer is going. It is doing its first layer. It's doing a perimeter outline. So since I'm basically building a giant washer for the toilet, that's what you're seeing. It has the inside outline and the outside outline or perimeters, and now what it is doing is filling in those two to begin building the washer. So it does this one layer at a time, and each layer is 0.2 millimeters tall. So pretty thin stuff, but with enough layers, it adds up to be a pretty strong piece in the end. Okay, so there's a look at the 3D printer. They're pretty cool to look at. I'll give you some footage overlay of the ones that are running in the background. They're the ones actually creating my products that I make and sell. But this one's gonna take about an hour and a half, and I'm gonna let it sit, and we'll come back tomorrow and finish this out. Not because this is gonna take too long, but the fact that it's about 8:30, and I've been in here all day. I'm ready to go to the house. So sit tight 1 second, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's the next day, as you can see. Maybe it's brighter back there, but let's get this toilet washer off and see how it fits. Fresh out of the printer, we have our toilet washer, toilet riser. We're going to pop this guy off. Looks neat. Let's see if it fits. Look at that. Wonder if it works front to back. Or if it's symmetrical. Well, if it's not symmetrical, there is enough wiggle room for that to work. Very cool. Wow, I'm surprised. I really am surprised. Usually it takes a lot of prototyping to get things to work, but that's going to be perfect. The toilet will rest on this flange, just a 3 millimeter thickness, and the lip that I put on the inside will help keep it from sliding around too much and getting out of placement, I guess you could say. Awesome. Well, we'll take this to the RV and see how it works in the real home or location. All right, let's remove our little plastic cover. Made sure nothing fell down, or I guess fragrances came out. Put our little guy down on the floor. Okay, now see if we can get this lined up. I'm worried about the bolts first, and then I'll worry about getting the washer. Now that the bolts are through the base, I can move this little spacer to where it needs to be. Kind of push down, make sure we're locked in, and we're good to go. You can also see how I made it wider than it needs to be. I wasn't sure how well the washer would fit, so I figured I would err on the side of caution, and also keep it where if anyone gets wiggle, they shouldn't take it off the base. I've got some of these little black rubber pads. I'm going to stick these on the back of the toilet because it bumps up close to the wall. This one's a little bit longer than the original. So hopefully this will keep us from destroying the wall and also get rid of any kind of banging and, I don't know, noise. Noise from this touching the wall at least. And maybe help, right? So, okay, with those in place, now we can do the bolts on the bottom. All right, well, feels good to have this done, right? There's another place to sit and think about things in life, and it no longer wiggles. It's no longer weirdly attached to the base. It's rock solid, and it's even got anti-vibration feet on the back there. All right, let me get out of here and finish this video. With that, I think we can consider the lid shut on this case and a pretty good outcome to a problem that we had that, again, we're able to use a 3D printer to solve. Now, am I trying to say that this alone justifies getting a 3D printer? No, but it's one random application that I found for 3D printers that is really cool. And I've used this for a lot of different weird, random, functional solutions. If you like this content, let me know. I know 3D printing is one of those kind of off the wall, over at the side hobbies, and I don't know if a lot of people are really interested in seeing functional everyday applications of having one to solve problems. So let me know if you like it. Either way, it was a random video, something I had to do anyway, and I figured I would bring you guys along. So thanks for watching as always. You got questions or comments, leave them for us down below. Otherwise, take care. And we'll see you guys next time, wherever in the world we may be.